Hello guys, my name is Quaz, and welcome back to Scry Guys. Hey, you can see I got a webcam. Hello, you can see my face. But we are going to do a deck tech today for my favorite deck I've been playing for 6 years now. Or no, not even 6. It's like close to 5. Hydra is. As you can guess on the picture here, it is Gargos, the Visage Watcher. I know this week is the start of the Las Vegas Magic Fest. But unfortunately, I couldn't go. So here to sick video about the deck tech here. So let's get started. Oop, need to click on here. There we go. We got Gargo Visage Watcher, which is 3 green and 3 colorless, and it's a legendary creature Hydra and have vigilance. And the Hydra spells you cast cost 4 less to cast. And then whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, Gargo's the Visage Watcher fights up to 1 target creature you don't control into 8/7. Very big. The only thing that I care about is the how big it is, A7, and the first ability. Hydra spells you cast cost 4 less to cast, which is huge for Hydra tribal decks. And yeah, let's see what's next on here. We're going to look at the main thing about the deck is your Hydras. You got Apex Devastator, you got Benevolent Hydra, you got Genesis Hydra, who's the Hydra, Hydra Brewmaster, Hydra Omnivore, Iron Scale Hydra, Colonial Hydra, and Lifeblood Hydra. The all-star of the Hydras is definitely Apex Devastator, since he's going to cost 6 less, and you get to cascade 4 different times. 6 mana, 10/10, then you get to cascade 4 times. So strong, so busted. Then you got Benevolent Hydra, which came out almost a year ago. He's finding a place in home. You just like put a bunch of counter on it, and then you get to move around counters. And whenever Hydra in battlefield, that's X. Put X counter on it. It will gain additional 1, and I can remove those counter from Benevolent Hydra onto a different creature, which is fantastic. And then you got Genesis Hydra. Whenever you cast Genesis Hydra, reveal the top X card of your library. You may put a non-land permanent card command cost extra less among them onto the battlefield, and that's up for your library. And then it gets X +1 counter on it, depending on how much you put in it. So it's going to be 4 no matter what if you have Gargos on the battlefield. And then you can pump it up to like maybe 8 or 10, which is very strong. Then you got Hooded Hydra, same thing. Just going to be 4 no matter what. Actually going to be 4. And then when Hooded Hydra dies, put 1/1 snake creature tokens onto the battlefield for each +1 counter on it. And then Morph. I never use Morph. For Hooded Hydra, I just always cast it for the green and then X, which is amazing for a deck. And then we've got Hydra Brewmaster. I am not monstrous this guy yet, but when it becomes monstrous, put XX green Hydra creature tokens onto the battlefield. Basically just a 2 mana 7/7 that it can become very threatening in the late game. And then Hydra Omnivore, we got whenever Hydra Omnivore deal combat damage to opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent, which is insane for 2 mana 8/8 and Gargos. Then we've got Iron Scale Hydra. If a creature deal combat damage to Iron Scale Hydra, prevent that damage and put +1 counters on Iron Scale Hydra, which is a good blocker, and that could swing pretty good too. And it's only like 2 mana still, which is nice. Colonial Hydra, really good card in this deck. Definitely some like sweet combos you could do. Which I love. So Colonial Hydra in the battlefield with 4 +1 counters on it. Whenever Colonial Hydra attacks, double the number of +1 counter on each creature you control. And then you got Lifeblood Hydra. Lifeblood Hydra to enter battlefield with X +1 counter on it, and then when it dies, you gain X and you draw a card equal to its power, which is pretty good in this deck. It will come with 4 or more depending on what you want to do with that. But yeah, let me just lower this down a little bit. There we go. Alright, next is up more Hydras. We got Manticore Hydra, Mistcutter Hydra, Nisian Wild Ravager, Neverwinter Hydra, Oran Reef Hydra, Phyrexian Hydra, Polluker Nose World Eater, Promoted Hydra, and Rampant Rejuvenator. Manticore Hydra is just going to be 1 less, or it's going to be 3. And then whenever a player casts a spell, put a +1 counter on Manticore Hydra. And then we got Mistcutter for those blue decks. You don't want to get your stuff countered, do you? Pro blue, and it has haste, and then an enter battlefield with +1/+1 counters on it, so it's going to be a 4/4 with haste and pro blue, or it's going to be bigger and it could possibly one-shot your opponent, which is pretty nice, right? And then you got Nisian Wild Ravager, tribute 6, And then when Netian or Netian Wild Ravager enter battlefield, if it tribute wasn't paid, you may have Netian Wild Ravager fight another target creature you control, which is a really good card. When ATBs, you could like negotiate like, hey, if you don't pay tribute, I'm going to kill this one threat, which is really nice, or does it become 12-12? They got Neverwinter Hydra, which is another addition to the deck. Neverwinter Hydra, enter battlefield, roll XD6, enter battlefield of +1 counter on equal to the total of those results, and add triple ward for, which is huge. So basically, you're going to roll 2d6 every single time that you have Gargos out, or more, depending on the situation you're in. And then you got Oran Reef Hydra, which is just landfall whenever a land out of battlefield, put a counter on it, and then whenever a force enter battlefield, put 2 +1 counter on Oran Reef Hydra instead. It's a trample, so it's a big Hydra. It's good swing, does stuff. And then we got Phyrexian Hydra, 7/7 infect, and then if damage will be dealt to Phyrexian Hydra, prevent that damage, put a -1 counter on Phyrexian Hydra for each 1 damage dealt this way. And then we got Pelukernos. When Pelukernos World Eater become monstrous, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures your opponents control. Each of those creatures deal damage equal to its power to Pelukernos, which is pretty good. It just, alright, board wipe, kill your creature, then swing out, which is nice. And then you got Primordial Hydra, 2 mana 4/4, or even early game you could catch for 3, and then eventually get big because no one ain't gonna kill Primordial Hydra that early. But it's pretty nice. And then you got Rampant Rejuvenator, which does a 4 mana 2/2, and then when it dies, search that menu, basic land equal to its power. It is going to be a 2/2, or it could be bigger, depending on what type of card you have. You could definitely make it big, but yeah, it's nice find this into deck. And then we got the last 4 Hydra, Steelbane Hydra. I wish there was a foil this. I truly do, but I don't think there will be. Steelbane Hydra at the battlefield with a X +1/+1 counters on it, and then 1 green 2 colors, remove a +1 counter on the destroy target artifact or enchantment, which is amazing for artifact enchantment removal there. They've got Uval Hydra. Uval Hydra, power and toughness equal to them or land you control, and then when ATBs, search a library for a land card and put it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffle the library. This helps us grab some situational lands, like Nykthos Shrine, Strip Mine, all of that stuff. And then we got Voracious Hydra. Everyone knows what this card does. If you played back in Standard or even in Pioneer, when Voracious Hydra enter battlefield with X counters on it, choose 1, double them with +1 counter on it, or if fights target creature you don't control. Normally, I have a fight, I never really double it. I definitely want to like get a threat out. Like if I think something like, I'm gonna kill that, so it's a good distance to deck. And then we got Whiptongue Hydra, our MVP. Destroy all flyers, which whenever Whiptongue Hydra enter battlefield, destroy all creatures with flying and put a 1/1 counter on Whiptongue Hydra for each creature destroyed this way, which is amazing for flyer decks where I can't really deal with that much. Like, alright, I got to 2 this guy up, play him for 2 mana, destroy all the flying creatures, and I could swing down in. So that's a pretty nice one there. And then we got our utility creatures here. We got Alistair Shepherd, just green spell can't be countered. Our whole deck can't be countered when he's out. Which is nice. Then we got Collector Oof. Collector Oof, I'm thinking about taking out. Sometime he's good, sometime he isn't. Definitely at the end of the video, I'll explain why, because there's some discount I want to put in the deck, and it hinders some of those cards, so we'll definitely talk about them. We got Defiler of Vigor. As it cost 2 green permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost 1 green less. If you paid life this way, effects reduce only mana, green mana you pay this way. And then whenever you catch a green permanent spell, put a one counter on each creature you control, which is huge for some of the interactions that we have. And then we got Kodama the West Tree. Modified creature you control have trample, and then whenever a modified creature you control deal common damage to a player, search your library for a basic land and put on battlefield tapped. Basically, you're just with all your hydras that have counters on them, you swing, they hit, you get a land. It's just nice ramp. You then got Pathbreaker Ibex, which is another closure for this deck. You'll definitely have haste with them with Court of Crossroads, which is coming up here soon. But I think Great Addition. I'm debating about putting Crater Hoof in here, but I'm not too sure yet. I think it doesn't fit. I think Ibex it's fine. But yeah, then we got Radi. Runadi? I can't speak today. Beneath Behemoth Color. Whenever you cast a creature spell, mana value 5 or greater, that creature enter battlefield with X plus 1 additional +1 counters on it, where X its mana and my value -4. Then creature with 3 or more +1 counters on it has haste. So this is the interaction I was talking about with Colonial Hydra. So ATBs had 4 counters on it, or 5, and then it immediately swings and you double everything on the battlefield, which is a nice combo there. I love doing. It just makes everything threat on my board, and then I normally die first. Then we got Zavala, Heart of the Wilds. Whenever another creature in the battlefield, its controller may draw a card if its power is greater than each other creature's power. Then tap 1 green, add X mana of any combination in colors where X is the greatest power among creature you control, which is huge for this deck. We'll definitely have 8 or more. Then we've got Toski. Toski's a great draw engine there. Can't be countered, indestructible. Attack each combat, that's fine. And then whenever a creature you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card, which is awesome. Then we got Beast Witcher, another great card value engine. Whenever you catch a creature, draw a card. Alright, we are talking about the artifacts. We got a little bit of RAM package for artifacts here. We got Jewel Lotus, Mana Crypt, and Soul Ring. And then everyone wants to know what those cards do. And then we got Ronos Monument, which helps our green spells. A green creature spell costs 1 less than whenever I cast a creature spell. Target creature get +2/+2 and gains trample till the end of turn. And then we got Great Hand. Everyone wants to know what Great Hand is, but if you don't, I'll explain it here. This spell costs X less, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control, and then add 2 green and you gain 2 life. And then whenever a non-token creature in the battlefield under your control, put a +1 counter on it and draw a card, which is amazing for Gargos. When you have Gargos out, you basically pay 2 mana. Get that bad boy on there and start getting a value. Alright, let's move on to the instance. We got Beast Within. Destroy a permanent, they get a 3/3. And then we got Berserk. Berserk's a very fun card. I think I still need to get one, but it's the only card that I'm missing out of the deck. But doing that with like Phyrexian Hydra or like your Gargos, you already have your opponent at like 8 commander damage, you just pump it up. Alright, you're dead. Let's get sacked. That's a good trade-off there. And then you got Blossomy Defense, which just protects your stuff. And then it trigger Gargos to fight something, which is nice. You can use this as a combat trick, or you could use this as a way to kill something for 1 mana. Then you got Fortune Vigor, which is an amazing card in green. Just to take out the Mana Crypts or early Mana Rocks on like turn 1, even before your turn. Like, alright, I'm going to Fortune Vigor your Mana Crypt and your Soul Ring there. So it's nice. And then we got Guy's Gift. Put a +1 counter on target creature you control again to reach, trample, hexproof, and indestructible to the end turn. So it just protects the spell, another fight spell. There, we've got Heroic Intervention. Everyone wants to know what this is. Just everything just indestructible and hexproof till the end turn. Then we've got Nature Claim, destroy an artifact or enchantment. It control gains 4 life, and then return to Wild Speaker. This card pretty sweet. It could be an overrun spell, or it could be just a good draw. I normally just do the draw. I have other cards in here that help me get over that damage. And then we have Tamiyo Safekeeping. Target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible till the end of turn. You gain 2 life. So basically another fight spell or a protect spell. However you see it. That's how I see it. It's either a fight spell or a protect spell. Alright, and then we got our last two, which is Veil of Summer, which helps us against the blue decks or black decks. And then we got Whirly Tutor, which searches up our Apex Devastator, Whip-Tongue Hydras, or anything that's useful in our arsenal of Hydras. And then we got our sorcery. We got Balagid Recovery, which is just a return and a land on the other side if you want to use that first if you draw it on your opening 7. Return just target card from your graveyard to your hand. And then we got Creepy Renaissance. This was a very interesting ad. I think I only used it once, but I think I still need to test it out. But choose a permanent type, return all card of the chosen type from your graveyard to your hand, and have flashback too. So basically, if all your Hydra die to board wipe, you return them all, play Gargos, and then you play them all again for cheap. And then you got Cultivate, nice ramp piece there, just search for 2 basic, 1 to battlefield, 1 to your hand. You got Finale of Devastation. This card is devastating. This is another overrun effect. We just search for Ibex, swing in, all my creatures get +20/+20, which is disgusting. We got Green Sun Zenith over here. Search your library for a green creature card for mana cost extra less. Put it on battlefield and then shuffle green something. That's a very for Dried Arbor. Then in the late game, if you draw, you could search for another piece that you need to ramp out faster. I know it's a little off, but making didn't see that when I was making it, but that's okay. We'll just continue on here. Then we got Kodama's Reach, another Cultivate basically. Then we got Nature's Lord to put a forest on the battlefield. And then Shuffle, and then we got Nissa Pilgrimage, basically Cultivate, but it's only for Forest. And then with Spell Mastery, if there's 2 or more instant sorcery in your graveyard, search for 3 basic Forest. But still 1 had to be on battlefield, and 2 go to your hand, and then you got Rampant Growth. Search for a basic land, put on battlefield, tapped. And then we got Riskar Expertise, which is pretty good for this deck. We can put like a Defiler on the battlefield. Anything that's 5 or less, Beast Whisperer, Savala, like really anything to get the value engine going. We're definitely drawing like more than 8 cards each time that we cast it, unless our opponent kills our commander right on the spot when I cast this. That happened a couple times. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Next is 3 Visits, basically Nature's Lore. Search your library for a forest, put on battlefield. And then we've got Triumph of the Horde, which is my favorite overrun spell. Basically just kills a whole table if nothing dies or if it doesn't get countered. Until the enter creature you control, get +1/+1, gain Trample and Infect, which is just a game-ending card. And then we've got Turber Symbiosis. This card I mainly... I only casted the front side once, but I mainly used the other side. It's just a card I use it in a situation where I'm like, alright, I need to dig for something or I die. And normally it fails, but I'm still debating about this card. It's a good card. But yeah, let's move on to the enchantments here. We got Court and Crossroads. All creature gain haste, which is what we need when we're going off with a bunch of mana from Nykthos Shrine, which we normally do. And then we got Gargos Uprising. ATBs, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card, and then creature you control have trample, and then whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enter battlefield under your control, draw a card. Then we got Guardian Project. When non-token creature enter battlefield under your control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature you control or a creature card in your graveyard, draw a card. Basically, we'll just draw a card every single time we play this because that's a commander. Then we got 7 Library, which is just good card advantage. Basically, you look at top 3, you could pay 4 life for 2 of the cards. Normally I have to pay 8 because I want to dig through my deck deeper and deeper. And then we've got Tribute to the World Tree. This is a new addition, so whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. If it's power, if it's 3 or greater, otherwise put 2 +1 counter on it. So basically, my Toski could put on 3/3, and then if Gargos ATBs, I draw a card off of it, which is really nice, and it helps with Devotion to 3 green. Devotion is very important in this deck. Then we got the utility lands. Yep, there it goes again. I didn't check that, but that's okay. We got Blighted Woodland. Basically, it's a ramp land. Sacrifice it, look for 2 basic lands and put them on battlefield tap. Then we got Boseiju, which is an amazing card. Discard Boseiju, who adores. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or non-basic, and they get to look for a basic land type. Castle Garenbig is amazing. Pay 4 mana, get 6, cast Gargos. Which is nice. And then we got Cavern of Souls. Creature spell can be countered. And then we have Lair to Hydra. I had to add it. It's a Hydra. It has to be in there. And then we got Misty Rainforest. I only made 1 section, so I'm playing Misty Rainforest, Wooded Foothills, and Verdant Catacomb to the list. And then Prismatic Vista. I don't want to add more slides for the deck tech, but there are a lot more fetch lands in here. They got Myriad Landscape, another ramp spell, or not ramp spell, ramp land, sacrifice 2, like for 2 basic, put on battlefield tapped. And then we have Nykthos Shrine, our all-star land. Choose a color, add that much, so basically once this gets up to like 20 or more, it's basically game over. I'm basically just like, alright, I'm going to tutor up some stuff, I'm going to kill you guys right then and there. They've got Yamihala, which is just add 1 colorless and then tap green. Regenerate target creature you control. Oh, it's regenerate. I thought it would you control. Okay, I didn't know that. And our last land is Yamea Cradle of Growth. Each land is a forward to distance to other types, which helps with... Oh, I forgot to add the Planeswalker in here. Well, the Planeswalker is Nissa, the Phyrexian one. Basically, it's a 7 mana with 2 Phyrexian mana symbols on it, and this helps a lot with it, but I forgot to add in here. But that's okay. We're going to move on from here to the addition I want to add to the deck. Mana Vault, last March of the Ants, the One Ring, I get the Soul Cauldron, and Up the Beanstalk. I think the cards definitely have a lot of potential. I only tried the One Ring once, and I didn't draw it, but that's okay. I'm definitely want to find room for all these cards and definitely try them out. Definitely Up the Beanstalk, because that card is definitely powerful, since good chunk of my creature are going to be 5 or more there. So, and then we've got Atka the Soul Cauldron, which is a sweet card, since I get to, like, alright, I want your one creature to have abilities, and I could activate all my one Hydra, which is really sweet. Mana Vault just helps us ramp. I have it in there. I forgot to put it up here, but it definitely does work. But once it's tapped, it's like, it's a useless land because I don't want to untap it. I want to just use it once, and I'll just take the damage for it, so on forth. Last March Ant, I'm still trying to grasp what I can do because I'm drawing, and then I get to put creature on the battlefield. So I'm kind of leaning toward no sometimes because I'm running X creature, and like the creature is going to be useless. But I still need to find room because the skill can't be counted. That's the only reason why I want to put it in there. And then, yeah, that's basically it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you stuck around, definitely like, subscribe, and share the video all around if you know someone that is playing Hydras. And if you are playing Hydras, put Hydra Gang in the comments below, guys. I want to see some Hydra people over here. I know I'm not the only one that play Hydras like I do. Even if you are playing a multicolor Hydra deck, I would love to see your decks as well. And yeah, I think that's it. Alright, my name is Quest, and you guys are watching Scry Guys. I will catch y'all later. Bye-bye.